people always said that she was very precocious and that she was an interesting character, being naughty, difficult.
I got diagnosed with autism when I was 19, but I've always pretty much known I was autistic or had something a little bit different about me. It was suggested in primary school, but because it wasn't even as much of a thing back when I was younger, it didn't get kind of pushed through.
When she started playgroup, then she started to have sort of difficulty playing in the playgroup, and used to have quite a lot of, I don't know, they're not tantrums, but she used to get overwhelmed. Now I know that's what it is. So there were signs, I think, but because I didn't know about it, I didn't know that they were signs.
Went and seek the diagnosis in the end is because I tried to go to university, and I only lasted there a month, as there was a lot of problems and issues and I couldn't cope with the living on my own, and it was kind of like it all just ended in quite a big drama, and I never really knew why. And then I came back and realised maybe I need to go and get that diagnosis.
So I think from me, I had the concern that it would get in the way. A diagnosis in today's society of anything can be considered a label, and I was hesitant.
So on a daily basis, definitely my most, I would say, autistic trait is the sensitivity to noise. So I do generally, I'll have ear loops in, or I'll have noise cancelling headphones in. Even during when I'm working at the school, I have the ear loops in, because I just can't handle the noise. And a lot of the time when I'm trying to go on public transport and travel, the noise can just make it go like that. And it does feel like that. It feels like it's kind of all coming into you. Even though the noise might be over there, it feels like it's over here. So I definitely say that is my biggest struggle. And obviously social cues. I have had issues in jobs before with the not understanding the social cues because I can't read between the lines as well. But obviously, and then I've had instances where people have been like, but I just explained it, why can't you understand that?
It wasn't until it got brought up when she was older and it got diagnosed, and then it was kind of almost like that feeling of how could I not have noticed? But when it's your child, I think you just think, oh, it's them, they do this, they could be a bit of a pain, teenage years are hard. So yeah, it was when she was older, I think, that we started to understand it, I think.
It was just a game changer. I was just like, oh wow, this will make sense now. And I kind of could look back and look at things and do things in a different way, which I was able to then be able to progress much further. And obviously now I run CyberCherryClothes, which is insane. Fashion is super important, because when I've been growing up, I've always not felt like I fitted in, and a lot of that definitely displayed in my fashion sense. There is so many requests, not just from neurodivergent people, because I've built up a bit of a reputation of editing things. I get some very interesting requests. So as mentioned in the BBC one, I had the person who wanted the heavy metal style, but a lot of the clothes with alternative heavy metal will have metal zips, metal buttons, so I changed those out for wooden. That definitely with sensory, I do style bundles obviously, and they are very catered. So I will include a base layer, and it does not matter if you buy £15, if you have a sensory issue and you've told me, I will always include a base layer for you free of charge, because otherwise you can't wear some really nice things because they might be itchy. So that base layer just kind of makes it so you can wear it. So I've got 2 pet rats, which are actually upstairs in my bedroom, and they are really great. They kind of settle me. They're a really great comforter. Even just watching them kind of just run around and do their thing, it just definitely settles me.
Actually, Oopie Boopie, Bubbles, or Baby Tinkle, Tinkle, Inkle, Sprinkle, Crinkle, Twinkle.
I've got lots of teddies. The teddies are definitely my sensory thing, which I would say helps me. I now work in a secondary school in the special educational needs department, and that is like a really like important role for me to have, because I'm there to help those kids that might fall through the cracks and to make sure they don't, like I did. And also just in my family life in general, it helps my family make like a little bit more sense of me.
Together we've worked really hard in the last sort of 2-3 years to really improve on our communication and our relationship. I just think it's given us a bit more chance to be a bit more honest with each other.
Being autistic is not a superpower. You don't see what goes on when they go home. And I see that a lot of the time in schools, and even with adults, they will act, because of masking, they will act so fine in the public like domain, but as soon as they go home, they have meltdowns, they explode, and that's the bits a lot of the time people don't see.
The main thing you get is, oh, you don't look autistic, which is kind of like, what does that even mean? What does being autistic look like? So, you know, but you do get kind of almost a surprise, I think, because she's running her own business, because she works, because she's getting on with life, she's got a boyfriend, you know, so I think people maybe have an unconscious bias that if you're autistic, maybe you can't have a normal life. I don't think she realises how much she trusts her own instincts sometimes, but she really does. And you know, and this setting up her business has been amazing. I mean, it's, you know, seeing her on the BBC News is like, oh my goodness. She's not her diagnosis. She's Amelie.
I'm different, but I'm cool still.